Hey, today I'm going to go over this spreadsheet, but before I do that, taking this morning walk. It's about 40 degrees, not too bad. 80% humidity. I'm kind of in shorts and everything. T-shirt and a weight vest. The weight vest adds more resistance to the walk, so you burn more calories, obviously. And being in shorts, exposed to cold, burn more calories. So, nice easy walk here. 2 miles. It's about probably a 25-pound weighted vest. I used to do 40 pounds, but I find that it really impacts my joints a lot. But kind of just want to show you this little thing that you can do for just 30 minutes to 2 miles. Burn a few, a couple hundred extra calories. So you can just like cut weight more quickly, get this shit over with quickly. But without further ado, I want to go over the spreadsheet today. And the spreadsheet is basically the spreadsheet I use for food. That spreadsheet used to measure food. And I'm going to put a link below where you can kind of copy the spreadsheet and kind of tweak it to your own liking and edit it yourself. But basically the spreadsheet has all these columns in it, calories and everything, and it'll automatically count the fat and protein macros for you. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, let's check it out.
Let's go through this spreadsheet. I could probably put a link and you can do a file, make a copy, and it'll just go onto your Google Drive. Yes, that is a painting of me. A friend gave it to me for my birthday. So let me go through this real quick. Okay. All the shit here on the bottom is your final numbers. What you want to pay attention is these two final numbers, like basically when you create your menu for the day, what is your fat and protein split. I don't even put carbs here because like nothing here is carbs. You should not have carbs. You should not have any carbs. Okay, zero. Not like, yeah. Okay. And then this is worthless. Actually, you can delete it if you copy it into your thing. So okay, so how does this work? Food is the food column, okay? Have whatever choice of fatty foods you want. In my case, I have these items. And you say, hey, is it done? I just have three things. Yes, I ate it today. No, I haven't eaten it today, and or I don't plan on eating it today. Or three, I'm cooking. If you're cooking and you're looking at the spreadsheet, you can kind of go back and forth so you know you got all the ingredients. And once your ingredient is prepped, then I just move it to yes because I'm going to eat it and not going to throw it away. Okay. In my case, I'm going to just eat almonds. I'll put a cooking here and just flag it so then later I can convert this into a yes when I eat probably at like 4:35. I'm not going to do this. I fucking hate chicken liver now after so many goddamn days of fucking eating that shit. Here is just notes and or amount. So for example, I want to put exactly the amount. So when I'm cooking, I'm be like, oh, okay, 1 tablespoon of cocoa oil. Okay, 8 ounces of broth. Okay, 50 grams of almonds. So everything here in parentheses is kind of like the basis, and I'll go over that in just a second. But I hope you get this column. So this is saying 1.5 ounce of cream cheese, 8 ounces of cocoa, all that shit. Okay. Bacon always just go by pieces, so I don't even put a parentheses thing here. And these two I got lazy because these are new ingredients. I just put tablespoon. Okay. Okay. Let me be real fucking good here. Okay. All right. So let me go through these two columns first. Okay. You can ignore these. This is just me being lazy, but let me go through these cells first. Basically, they're basically what the package says. Okay, like how many grams of protein there is, and how many grams of fat there is. So this is just how many grams it is. Now, in order for you to convert it to calories, there's two ways for you to do it. You can just do it this one way is just basically take this cell here and multiply the fat grams by 9. So each gram of fat is about 9 calories, okay? And then each gram of protein is about 4 calories. So if you look at all these cells here, they're just simply, all these guys are just simply multiplying this column by 9. And that's how you get your calories. Because again, this is 85.9% of your total calories is coming from fat, and 14.1% of these calories are coming from protein. Okay, this is how you kind of ensure that you are actually in ketosis. Same thing for this, except, again, we multiply by 4. It's protein is less calorically dense than fat. So again, I just multiply this column here by 4, and that's what we get. Okay, so now you might be wondering, all right, why don't you do something like this over here? And the reason is because on the nutritional facts, it already says 1 tablespoon is 120 calories, and that's all from fat. And here on the bone broth, this is the second way to do it. Sometimes, not all the time, the nutritional facts would say, oh, how many calories are from fat? Okay, so here it's 50 calories, and it literally says 20 calories are from fat. And now just assume that 30 grams are in protein, and probably is. So there's 0 carbs in there. So in the nutritional facts. So you want, if it already says on the label, I'm not going to go through all this gram stuff and kind of do a more inaccurate estimation, because this is literally, you're just telling you this is how many this is how much fat there is, and this is how much protein there is. Okay. So to reiterate before I kind of go to the other columns, this is just your foods. These are the things you read on the package labels. This is kind of like the amounts that you want when you're cooking. This is just for you to label to keep track what you have eaten today and what you haven't, because I know our lives get really, really hectic. So you don't want to like eat double the bacon or half the avocado or like something like that. So if you keep track, it's just basically a checklist. So you know exactly what you ate and what you didn't eat. So you don't overeat or undereat, and then you can kind of see your calories, okay? Yes, I'm eating 1,400 today. And this one is just basically what the amount is, okay? What the amount you want in cooking your stuff is, okay? So I hope that all makes sense. Okay, so I'll go. These 2 columns are pretty easy to understand, but I'll go through them last because it doesn't make sense logically for me to explain them right now. But let me do this column. This is probably slightly more difficult to understand. So basically, now we have everything that we need. I just look at the label and say, well, how many calories total? Okay, this is actually incorrect. How many calories total am I eating today? So in this case, I converted 1.5 ounces of cream cheese, and I want to see how many calories there is. Okay, so 342 was maybe 100 grams, and then this number here converts it into ounces, and then 1.5 ounces is this many calories. I'm not eating any of this, so I just multiply it by 0. But every 8 ounces, so this is where this comes in, okay? When I say 100 grams, it means like the basis function is per 100 grams, how many calories there is. So 342 calories for 100 grams, okay? It doesn't make sense for everything to be 100 grams. So for example, this one is, I label it here 8 ounces. So 45 here, the basis function is for every 8 ounces. So if I want to multiply by 2, then I would also update this to like 16 ounces. Okay. Every 45 calories I know is 8 ounces because I labeled it here. Okay. And avocado, every 100 grams is going to be 160 calories. And why again, that cooking video, I used to scale to weigh it, right? So I just weighed my avocados. Today it came out to 199 grams. So I know that's going to be 318.4 grams. Okay. Again, you want to obviously just measure the meat, don't measure the pit or the skin. Both olive oil and coconut oil are just gonna be 120 per tablespoon. Um, it's just like pure fat. So that's kind of what it is. I do 120 times 1 per tablespoon. But if I want 1.5 tablespoons, I just multiply by 1.5 instead of 1. Okay, here again, I use tablespoon, and here I use 1 tablespoon as the basis function. Here, I just say, well, 1 piece of bacon is 70 calories. So if I update this to 3 pieces of bacon, I'll just update this to 3 pieces, right? It's not necessary it does not affect the math down here. You update it to 3 pieces. It's just, I want to be consistent with my calculations and my labels here, because if I'm cooking for the day, I want to know exactly, I just want to glance at this and know exactly what like my meal prep should look like. All right. Again, here, eggs 100 grams, which is actually about 2 eggs, is going to be 155 calories. So 2 eggs is 155. If I were to do 1 egg, then I would just say it's 50 grams, aka 1 egg, and I would multiply 155 times 0.5. Okay, chicken liver, same exact thing. I just weigh it out, 172 per 100 grams. So I just weigh out the grams, and I derive the calorie number here, and so on and so on. These two are, again, exceptions because I already know 1 tablespoon is 120. So if I want 2 tablespoons, I just multiply it by 2, and it doesn't really rely upon any other thing here. Same thing here. They tell me on the label that's 20/30. So and it also says it's 50 grams. So yeah. All right. So that's this thing. And again, to recap, this is the total calories, okay, that you get. And the only cool thing about this column is that all these calories, these total calories from what you're eating, is derived by these kind of like 100 grams, 8 ounces. So you don't get confused, right? Oh, is this 100 grams or is it 8 ounces again, right? Since I explicitly put 8 ounces, it means 8 ounces is 45 calories. And then you can kind of just portion your stuff out by kind of just multiplying on your spreadsheet. So you don't have to remember anything. Like if you want this to be 3 ounces, you just change this to 3 ounces. These two are going to be constant because they're based on 100 grams. Okay. I hope you understand that. Let me know if you don't understand it. I probably won't explain it again, though. All right, these 2 columns, what are they? It's very simple. Now that we have the total calories, we're just going to take the fat portion, divide it by, again, these are fat calories. These are just ratios, right? So fat calories to protein calories. Okay, so these are proportion and they scale, right? So this is just saying I want to take this fat thing. So these 2 columns, this is just the calories from fat, and this is the calories from the protein. That's all it is. So the calories from fat is just going to be this guy divided by, like, basically the total. It's going to be this guy divided by the entire ratio. So 90 divided by 98 is some large percent skewing for fat, and then multiplying by the total calories. This is, so basically this thing is just saying, well, if I were to have 98 calories, meaning I eat 1 portion of this based upon 10 grams and 2, like as the label says, if I were to eat 1 thing of whatever the label said, that is 98 calories, how many of those calories are going to be, like what ratio of those calories is going to be from fat? Okay, so this is just taking the fat calories divided by total calories to get that ratio. Now the ratio is going to be a number less than 1, and it doesn't mean anything until you multiply it by something, so we just multiply it by the total calories. Okay, so that's kind of how you get the calories from fat. And again, here is just going to be the ratio of the protein calories divided by total calories to get that ratio. And then in order to make the ratio make sense in the context of what you're cooking, that is the total calories, you just multiply by total calories. So these two numbers here should always add up to this number. So if we check, here is 145.6, right? If we check here, 318.4. So that's like a mental check that I did to make sure that these formulas are right? So of these 155 calories, 101 is from fat and 53.9 is from protein. Again, it's just kind of ratio, finding out what the ratio is and then kind of scaling it up by the total calories. All right. Long story short, you don't have to understand the equations if you don't want to, but this is just the calories that you get from fat when you eat this much stuff, and this is the calories from protein when you eat this much stuff. Okay, so just after, the only thing you really need to edit is this guy and this guy and this guy. This guy to label stuff, this guy to adjust the quantities, and this guy to kind of adjust the quantities in your equations. So you can kind of tweak and adjust these kind of ratios, how many calories you're eating. Okay, so all of these are just knobs, right? Like, if you eat a little bit less cream cheese, you might need to crank up your egg more. You might need to crank up your almonds more, things of that nature. So you notice some rows here are bolded. Things are bolded are things that meet the 80-20 ratio for the fat to protein ratio for me, as far as calorie goes. So like if this is too low, then I just pick one of these to skew the ratio back up. If it is 85, then have the latitude to eat more eggs, more chicken liver, and maybe drink more bone broth, and that'll make it go down. So anything that's in bold will make the fat ratio go up toward that 80-20, and anything that isn't bolded is going to make it trend lower. Okay. Like if you really like bone broth, which I do, I have the latitude to drink another 8 ounces a day. I don't really want to. I want to keep it at 1,400, and honestly, I'm not that hungry. Okay, I hope that all makes sense. And so, how are these numbers derived right here? I mean, now that you have all your ingredients and all your total calories, this math automatically pumps up how much calories of these total calories you're eating for the day, which is 1410, which matches up here. How many of all these calories are going to be from fat, and how many of these are going to be from protein? Okay, so this is just simply the sum of all these guys, obviously. And this is going to be the sum of all these guys. And this is just a double checker thing, which is like, instead of summing this or all of this, I'll just kind of sum these two numbers to kind of make sure that it matches up with this number, right? Again, a mental check to kind of make sure everything is lined up. All right, so now you have all these numbers. The rest is pretty easy. This is just fat calories divided by total calories. And this is protein calories divided by total calories, right? So that's what we have. And of course, they always have to be 100%. Otherwise, math is wrong. So that's all there is to it. To recap, TLDR, the really only things you need to edit every single day, if you want, is this column. If you're fine with eating the same thing every single day, then the only thing you're going to have to probably adjust is avocado and probably chicken liver, because those are quantities, as you saw in my cooking videos. It's not like a portioned thing. Cream cheese, you can always cut 1.5 ounces. Avocado, you can always weigh out exactly tablespoon, very easy to portion, very easy to portion, very easy to portion. Only this and avocado is very hard to portion. So if you don't eat chicken liver anymore, like I do, I still have 70 grams left of chicken liver, so I might have to take that bullet someday. But so just weigh your fucking avocados and kind of see where you're at, and then if you want to drink more broth to kind of supplement more calories, then you might just turn one of these guys up. Okay, if you find that your fat ratio is way too low, then you might want to do some more of these other things. It's really as simple as that. I might be making it more complicated than it really seems, but once you kind of play around with it and kind of start tweaking numbers, it'll make a lot of sense. So again, the only thing you need to tweak is this guy, and if you are only eating avocados, you really only need to tweak how many grams of avocados are in here. Okay. And the other things, other two columns is this guy and this guy. So once you update your portions here, if it's different, then you're just gonna update stuff here. Again, if you're eating the same exact thing every day, like this pre-template, although you'll change like the grams here, it's still one avocado. So, again, these are just notes. This is not accounted at all in any of this math. It's just notes so that you don't make mistakes when you're cooking. So you know exactly how much to put in your dish. Okay, last thing. Done or not. The only thing you really need to know about this, again, is not calculating the math at all. It's just so that you can label it. It's like, hey, did I finish this yet? Or did I not finish this yet? So you kind of plan your meal ahead of time and make sure all the numbers make sense. And then during the day of when you cook, you're just looking in this column. And then, if it's 0, then you don't cook it. You just leave it as no. And then, when you cook it, you say, hey, 1.5 ounces of this. I'm not going to cook this. 1 avocado, 1 olive oil, 1 piece of bacon, 2 eggs. I'm not going to eat chicken liver. I'm going to eventually eat 50 grams of almonds. I label that as cooking so I can be reminded. And 1 tablespoon coconut oil, 8 ounces of broth. Okay, yes. So even when I glance at this, I don't have to remember every single ingredient I cooked. I just go like, I'm not really eating this because it's 0 calories. I'm not eating this. I didn't miss anything. And this says cooking, which means I haven't eaten it yet and I want to eat it. So I'll probably measure out 50 grams later. Actually, I only want to eat 50. $1,200, huh? I kind of only want 50. I'm pretty full, actually. If I gotta just eat 50. I don't like almonds. It makes me fucking bloated. I hate almonds, but I eat it because it helps digest the food, so you don't get the shits. I hope all this made sense. It's just those 3 columns. This is day 13, coming to an end. See you on day 14, where it'll be hopefully less nerdy. Okay. Talk to you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.